So I've got red kidney beans. I've got quite a few cans of those. I'll put that up there. Then we have baked beans. And we also have pork. I'll put that there. Chopped tomatoes. That goes up there. Honey. We hit over 10,000 people in, I think, a week ago. And we're generally getting about a couple of hundred people a day, and that seems to be increasing rapidly as we get close to Brexit. Now, originally, when the group was formed, it tended to be people who were sort of interested in prepping, you know, a curiosity. And increasingly what happened is we're getting more and more mothers with families and young children, or elderly, or people who are disabled coming and who are very concerned. We're more like Women's Institute. So it's more like, you know, we spend a lot of time swapping jam recipes and then again talking about how, you know, how best to dehydrate apples and then store them and things like that. So it's not really about, you know, I'm going to go out and hunt squirrel and things like that and make bear traps out of my shoelaces. We don't cover any of that because we don't really see that as a, well, one, it's just not a viable scenario. We don't think it's likely, if things got as bad as that, I think the chances are I would just give everything away of what I have to everyone who possibly needs it and then probably just go and live in Europe. I want to go back to normal life. I mean, this is a pain in the neck, really, because I've got to, you know, make sure that none of this goes out of date, because if it goes out of date, I've got to throw it away. And I'm trying to keep on top of everything. And it's an additional expense. And you know, I'm having to quickly each weekend I'm juggling around and moving things about so I can put stuff in. And really, I would like to go back to normal. Normal life was I would come home on a Friday, have a look, see what's on TV, order an Indian takeaway, and then settle down for the evening.
So seeds sell better in a crisis than they do in a boom, and that's been the same through time. And we were at home one night and we thought we'd, just after a drink actually, and we thought we'd put together this pack, which is essential varieties, things that you can sow all year or harvest all year, varieties that can be grown in containers, varieties that can be stored or preserved. The kit in itself, has its own merits, but we've tied it together with Brexit and all of the reports of food shortages, etc. Well, if Brexit happens, there are some very quick, some very fast-growing varieties, like cut and come again lettuce. If you were to sow that in, let's say, June, you'd be eating it 3 weeks later, like the bags you buy in the supermarket. So there are varieties that are quick growing. Then there's other varieties that are slow growing, but the plan is in there. If you sow something each month of the year, then you can harvest something each month of the year as well, and you get a continuous supply. So I had never heard the word preppers before a month ago, and I kind of assumed it was Americans who were buying guns and ammo and tin food and water. But you know, now I belong to 4 Brexit preppers websites on social media, and there's been a huge spike in preppers websites. Whether you agree with it or not, it is a thing. People are stockpiling, and that is because of the uncertainty. Okay, so as a small business, it's impossible for us to plan. You know, we don't have millions of pounds like the big corporations do to buy stock and to stockpile. And in fact, we have been trying to stockpile, but as goods are coming in, as seeds are coming in, they're flying off the shelf so quickly that we found that we haven't been able to stockpile ourselves. But yeah, I mean, it's the uncertainty that's fueling the stockpiling at the end of the day. None of us know what's going to happen in a month's time. The can has been kicked down the road yet again by the government, and small businesses cannot operate in this environment. It is impossible.